So just the other day, I was talking about our wake-up calls and how my topic has been commitment. At the same time, I was talking about the topic and the idea of quitting. And around the topic of quitting, I want to introduce you to a concept called The Dip. This is a little book by Seth Godin. It's a little book that teaches you when to quit and when to stick. It's a really short book. It's around 80 pages. So if you can find this in a store, you can take a good, I don't know how long it takes for you to read, but you can read it in the store. So the whole premise around this book is around this graph. If I can find the graph for you. The graph is very similar to the Dunning-Kruger effect, where the more you know, the more you find out that you don't know. Hormozi also calls it the 5 stages of niche hopping. So the graph looks like this, where in the beginning you're very excited about an opportunity because you have uninformed optimism. So your results and your effort goes up, and it looks like this. You have uninformed optimism. The more you start to know and the more you start to do the thing that you got to do is when you reach informed pessimism. When you reach informed pessimism, your results and your effort begin to drop until you reach the dip. The dip in the 5 stages of niche hopping is called the Valley of Despair. And this is where the majority of people quit. This is where the majority of people quit because they feel like there's no way out and this dip is going to keep going downwards. It's not until you reach the point of informed optimism and you start to learn your deficiencies in what it is that this opportunity is that you start to rise in your efforts and your results. So you start to rise at informed optimism, and at the very top is where you reach success and fulfillment. And well, there are 2 other graphs in this book. One is called the cul-de-sac, which is a dead end, and the second is called the cliff, which is very rewarding until you reach the end of it and it steeply drops, which is very rare, but it's scary. And this is what they both look like. So you see with the cul-de-sac, it's a very straight line until you reach the very end. And it's just very stagnant. So the cul-de-sac, meaning a dead end, is where you hear a lot of people say, oh, I've reached, I'm stressed, I feel like I'm in a dead-end job, there's no more moving forward, there's no more moving up, and you're stagnated. You're stuck in the same place and you don't know what to do. That is the cul-de-sac. A dead-end job is an example of that, where you're not moving up, you're not, no promotions, you feel like you are stuck in the same place, just living week after week. The cliff, which is this one right here, is the one that is very rewarding until you reach the end, and then it's a steep drop off. And you notice over here, it doesn't go back up. There's no returning from the cliff. A good example of the cliff is smoking cigarettes. You know that it's rewarding in the time being, so you smoke 1, some people smoke 2, some people smoke packs a day. But you get that short-term instant gratification by feeling good by puffing on a cigarette. But when you reach very far down the line, when you reach the edge of that cliff and you get a disease, you get sick, taking puffs from a cigarette is more damaging to you than it is rewarding, is when you have fallen off the cliff and there's no coming back from that. So if you're wondering when it is that you should quit something and you know that is not serving you in any way, just think of those 3 graphs and put yourself in the position of those graphs on whether it is that you should continue to keep going, get better, keep going, or you should probably stop this and quit. Hope that helps.